Good morning, everyone. Mm. In the last class, we were talking about what is called management and what are the activities involved in management and definitions of management. These things we have discussed in the last class, and today let us talk in brief about this management activities. Like one is planning. So let me get into this. So one is planning, second one organizing, and third actuating, fourth controlling. And from this four activities we have covered the planning activity in the last class, and today let's move on to this organizing part. So organizing and staffing, right? So this organizing and staffing, it talks about both the human resources as well as the material resources. As I said to you, as being an efficient manager or as being an efficient team lead, you should try to manage with the sources and with the even like with the sources means it means both human resources as well as the systems as well as whatever the software hardware which is provide for you, like material resources. You should try to manage with the given things. Okay. And how far you are motivating your team members in doing your work, and how far they are coordinating and communicating within a group, and how you are establishing the relationship between the authority and the people. And this is the most important thing in organizing and staffing. And staffing is considered as the important function. Let me tell you, like staffing is considered as an important function in building the human organization. And to have a better idea to this, this staffing is nothing but like human resources, HR management. And if you see in companies, we have a role called HR, right? So HR will be the one who is responsible to hire a candidate as well as to terminate a candidate. Okay. So performance can be analyzed with the help of a core team member, but in shortlisting their profiles and calling for interviews and all these things will be done by this HR team, right? So selecting a right person for the right job will make your company to be always successful, and that is more important part in a company. It can be a small scale company, or it can be a large scale company, or it can be even an like MNC companies. So whatever the company, let it be, and whatever the project that you are doing, you need the right people to be there in your project. Then your project will be a successful outcome, right? So this is organizing and staffing. Next, directing. As I told you, like directing is nothing but like how I can direct the other one, like to be simple. So directing, how the director makes a person to appear in the screen, whatever that you wants to convey, you will be conveying in terms of the actor actress, right? In terms of the people who act in front of the screen, but they are not the real one behind the idea. Behind the idea, the real one will be the director, but they will be the one who is representing the entire idea of the director, right? If the director is unable to deliver the things whatever that is there in the mind in the screen, then he is unfit to be a director, right? So you want to make the things to be shown in the screen whatever that he visualizes inside as a dream or as a start. So all these things you should bring in the screen. That is the part of directing. Or to be a team lead, you need to direct your team members in a proper manner to do the work, right? So like most of the teams get failed because of the wrong direction or because of the wrong motivation or because of the wrong way of communication, and they may not be knowing how to proceed further, they may not be knowing how to work to be involved in a team. So direction is most important part activity of among all the four, and it has three sub functions. One is communication and leadership, motivation. So communication, as we know, is just passing information to one person to another, and that is not communication where stops. Like how the information is passed from one to one, is it passed in a proper manner, or it should not be late in a diplomatic manner, right? It should not be like a debate. and it should be something like where the work has to be get accepted, work has to be get acceptable by the user. You need to do the works, right? So whatever the work is being contributed, and he should be in a position to complete the work. So that sort of communication should be there. It should not be like a rule, like it should not be ordering. If you order something, like you can do, but you can expect a good outcome only when you realize that you want to do your work. I should make you to realize that you are supposed to do this work as part of your education, or as part of your career, or for your growth. Then you will be doing giving your best in the works. So I can expect the best efforts of yours in the work, and that is the role of this communication and leadership. So he is the one who guides others, influences, and he is the one acts as a bridge between the team member, I mean the lost employee of the company, or I can say like the bottom employee of the company, and he will be the one acting as like a bridge or interaction, or he will be one acting in between the employee towards the higher authority, right? So he is going to subordinate the work to the manager, and he's going to subordinate the work to the people. That is what the leadership process. And motivation. So in what way you can motivate your employees to work to achieve company's vision, not their own vision, right? So you should motivate people in such a way to get dedicated and to get involved in these activities in achieving towards the company's goal. See, like for each and every company there is certain vision, mission. So how we are going to achieve that vision is the mission. So what are the process that you follow to achieve that mission is more important, right? So that is most important thing in motivation. So motivation is required when the people in the team, or when the people in a group of when the people in the company is a little bit lagging in terms of like coming out with their ideas, with their opinions. See, when you look, when you see a fresher, and even it is a practical real experience. So a fresher can do a task in a different manner most than the experienced guy. But the thing is that a fresher can be innovative. He can do the things in a better manner, but the out expected results may not be that much accurate when compared to experienced one in the team. So that is what we need, a fresher as well as experienced both together in a team to do a work. Okay, so that is what we always like. If you take a train, and if you look like train drivers, okay, train drivers will be of two people. So one will be the young, one will be the old. So one has to be active, and one has to, even if he is not active, he should be good enough in experience, okay, who can help in emergency cases. So whenever in the software projects, if we get done with any risk, okay, so this experienced people will be helping us to come out from the risk management, and the solution is straightforward. Like in case if I start doing a project, and if I've been lost with some risk or some unexpected result, what is that I can do is I will be looking into the past. I mean, are there any kind of the same problem faced by any of the project team earlier? And if it is there in existing, whatever the solution they have followed by that time period, I will be following the same solution in my new project. Okay, else what I will be doing is I will be contacting my most senior, most employee in my company, so I can get their suggestions and opinions on how to overcome from this risk, or how to overcome from this problem, from this issue, and how can I manage myself to be better than the others. So this is how it works, right? And the last activity is controlling. So controlling is nothing but like a giving instruction as like a master and slave. It is not as like a master and slave. It should be an user-friendly manner. How you control the others people to work. Okay, so it is a kind of skill. Again, I can call it as a kind of skill. You need certain skills in controlling and making the work to be done from others. Okay, that is the most important thing in controlling, which establishes the standard of performance. If you have a proper control and the outcome of your project or the outcome of your work will be an high level standard. And also you can compare the performance with the other standards, and you can see how far you are better than others. And if you have any corrections, if you have done any mistakes, anything in your product or project, so you can recorrect it, and you can make the management process to be smoother. Okay, so with these management activities, you can run a company, or you can design a product, or you can do a project in a smoother manner. It means you will not be getting much risk, so risk failures are less. And now you're going to face this is a little bit you will be having gain little experience in it. And let me tell you one more example in this scenario. See, almost when you are, I mean, right now, are you in pre-final year? The next year, you were supposed to do some academic project, right? So initially, within the initial inception stage, so what you will do is like to start with what kind of project should I start, how I should approach. And for this question, what you will be doing is like you will be approaching any of your senior, or you will be approaching your guide, or you will be approaching any faculty, and to get their opinions on how to start, or on what topic to start and how to do, right? So this is the real scenario. Even if I ask you to do some projects or mini projects, the one thing most people will do is will go to Google and browse. So even instead of trying on its own, and nowadays you are preferring to browse in Google and learn, right? So instead of just going and browsing in Google and learn, so what you can do is you can try to develop, even let it be a small mini project. If you're trying to do it on your own, you will be good and expertised in that particular tool or area, right? Okay. And as I told, like if I ask you to do a project, then first you will be approaching your senior or faculty or guide, and to know how to start it, right? To know how to start it, to know how to get involved, how to do. So this is how even the company also works. If the company gets a new project, it sees to it either has it done any similar projects in the existing. If yes, how they have done those projects, the same approach shall be followed for this new project. Else, they will get some suggestions from the peoples who are expertised in that area. So with their inputs, they will be keep on going for the next step. Okay, so these are the all four activities of management. And now the next second topic is nature of management. So whenever I call something like a nature of management, so what are the nature and characteristics that a manager should hold, right? So a manager should be one. uh, a manager should have a proper skilled in doing all the four activities which we have discussed earlier, like planning, controlling, I mean the planning, organizing, actuating, controlling. And management applies to all kind of organizations, as I told, like it is a skill which is required in a company. It can be an electronics company, or it can be a mechanical, it can be automobile, it can be of any category, right? Irrespective of anything. So whatever the company, let it be, it can be a small scale or a large scale, so nothing depends on it, right? So how the management applies to any kind of organization, and that is most required. And third is applies to managers at all organization level. There are certain companies like which comes under level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and this is called CMM level companies. So CMM level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. As we call, like institutions are accredited with NBA and NAC. Similarly, companies are being accredited with also like ISO and level 1, level 2, level 3 companies. So based on those levels, the company can be categorized what sort of company it is in the market. Okay, is it highly reputed, or it is a startup, or it is somewhere in middle in the market? Okay, And for next, the aim of the managers is same: create the surplus. So how they are working, how they are involved in doing the things. They should make a clear product. I mean, the manager should be productive, right? He should be productive. I mean, which implies efficiently and effectively. And here are the two terms, like efficiently and effectively. And the meaning of this is what this is the difference between a smart work and a hard work. Hard work is something where you work in a hard, dedicated manner. I mean, without a smart mind. A smart work where with a smart mind you can make the things bigger, right? So when both smart work and hard work is more required, right? So when comparing to hard work, you need to have smart work. You should be smart enough in doing the things, in handling the things. Like we call like patience, which is more needed in doing the things. And to be effective, you should be something innovative, right? To be effective, you should be something innovative. You should know how to use the given resources in an effective manner. Okay, you should know how to use the given resources. It mean it can be human resource, or it can be a material resource, it can be of anything. So whatever it is provided for you, how efficient you can use with the given data or the given information, and how far you can proceed for the next level. So this is the nature of management and characteristics of management. So characteristics of management. First, it is intangible, which can't be measured, which can't be seen. It is a type of skill which can be exposed. I mean, which you can express. So the management skill, and it is universal and applicable to all organizations. There is no restriction like management is applicable only for software companies or mechanical or electrical. Even management is applicable for a driver, management is applicable for a contractor, management is applicable for a IT company employee, management is even applicable for a student. So in what way you are going to manage the things? If I ask you to do some assignments, and if the other teacher also gives you some assignment on the same day, and suppose the deadline is same, you need to submit both the assignments in the next 2 days, then how you are going to manage it? How you are going to plan? And this problem, if you come out with a plan, or if you come out with how you are going to manage things, the solution may not be common to all, right? The solution may not be common to all. I mean, one of you can do, right? So one of you can start doing assignment subject 1 and then go for a subject 2. The other one can do in reverse, like start with subject 2 and go for subject 1. It can be of anything, but whatever that you feel you can make things to be effective and productive, in that way you will be planning and managing. Okay. And third, it is a group activity. As I said, team coordination, teamwork. Also I've given you a well-known example in the history, like turtle and rabbit, right? So how far you are capable to involve in a team and goal oriented. So whatever the direction, or whatever the direction is being shown by the project lead, or by the company, or by the organization, in that direction people will be working and will be keep on moving, right? So far it is like goal oriented, and all actions of management are directed at achieving the goals. And this is applicable for a profession as well as science, as well as arts, as well as for any courses that whatever we study, right? Even if you go for doing a BSc degree, there also you have management science. And it is multidisciplinary, so it has many contributions from all the areas like psychology, sociology, and anthropology. Okay, so this is about nature of management and characteristics of management. And now we'll be getting moving into scope of management. So you know the meaning of scope, right? Where it will be get applied, and what is the time limit, and what is the boundary of it. Okay, so wherever you use it, and what is the scope of yourself. For example, if I ask you what is your scope, So your scope will be like within the college or within the classroom or within the organization. And what is your particular role like a student? So what you are supposed to do, that is your scope, right? Similarly, scope of management. And for any organization, you can see each organization as a management. Okay. So management is not only for institutions or company. It is applicable to all cases. Even government organizations as management. Government organizations also need management, and few NGOs like non-government agencies also has management activities. So we have enormous in management activities in all applications, in all areas, in all tools. Okay, and how people are coming out with uh, profit, that is the other thing. So as I said, people will be working towards achieving the company's goal, right? So people will be working in achieving the objectives of the company. So whatever the company objectives are there, how it is asking the people to work, and they will be trying to work accordingly to fulfill the management requirements, right? So management in turn can go with like appraisal, it can go with incentive, can go with salary, can go with increment, or can go with like some kind of outings to make some refreshment, which can create some refreshment among the people in a team, so that they feel relaxed in doing the work. And if you take IT companies, most of the companies has there is no time restriction. That is, you should be present in like a 9 to 5, or you should be there from 9 10 to 5, and there are no certain timing restrictions in most 80% of the companies. So whatever the time that you are getting, and from that time period, they want you to stay like from 6 to 7 hours, and they want you to do the work. Either you can be in the company, or you can be in your home, you can be at anywhere. So they want the work to be done. That's all. So irrespective of the location or respective of the place, whatever let it be. Okay. So they that is also in requires an management. So management is the scope of the management is not limited, or there is no boundary certain limit. It is applicable to all type of works, whatever that is applicable in a real world. Okay, in all places we use management. We talk about management, we talk about business. So wherever we talk about the business, and those places management plays a major role. Okay, so this as a key role, and wherever you talk about a business enterprise. Okay, so whatever the business, let it be like a small scale to large scale, you need some managing skills. Okay, and it is difficult to identify what kind of activities are applicable for management and what activities are not applicable. Some works may require some specific managerial skills, but whereas the other works may need not to require the same management skills. Okay, so skill set will keep varying from time to time, right? So when the company get moves from one project to the other project, it needs to update on the tool or on the language in which they are going to work for the next project, right? So they will not be keep on working on the same programming language or on the same tool. And when I was studying my UG course like BTech, so by that time period, we have to learn C programming language only when we enter college. So in BTech first year. But right now, even 10th standard or inter first year people, they are studying C programming, right? So based on the change and based on the tools or techniques, whatever it is being evolved, we should be keep on updating, right? We should be keep on updating with the present real-time applications or with the present real-world scenarios. And management is not only to business enterprises, which is applicable to colleges like educational institutions and healthcare organization. See, in healthcare, and right now we are talking about smart healthcare, smart medical, even engineering plays a vital role. I mean, computer science engineer performs a major role in these kind of activities like healthcare, smart medical healthcare applications. Okay, and let me tell you a small example. If you go to a small medical shop, you can see a computer. You can see a computer nowadays, right? And earlier, when you are a kid, if you observed, and no medical shops were using computers or laptops. Only the most biggest pharmacy stores will be using laptops or desktops to make like which can be used for account purposes, like how many medicines are available and how much they are selling. To tally all those things, they used to have some machines. But nowadays, if you see, even a small medical shop will be having a system, at least a desktop or a laptop, so with through which he will be monitoring about the entire task. So what are the medicines are being sold and how much are there available in its godown. All these things can be observed. And parallelly, you can see earlier there are no CCTV cameras. Then after that, CCTV cameras are deployed in banks. So then after they start deploying in traffic areas like road traffic base. Then after they change little bit to automatic image capturing system in traffic. So now almost you can see at each and every home, like in front of gate, they have placed camera to monitor their places. And also you can see non-medical shops, like as well as shopping complexes, shopping markets, every place now the camera is there. Like, so it is also one kind of managing the things. They need to make sure that all the things are being safe, right? So they don't want to lose a product, or they don't want to lose their source. Whatever is meant for them, they should be having, right? For those things, they need to make the business to grow better. They want some kind of thing to be get achieved from the business, whatever they do. Okay, so that is one small example for healthcare organizations. And financial organizations, like if you go for banking, and how on what category loans can be distributed, or on what category credit card can be given, and if the customer fails to repay, and what are the ways, or what are the things, or what is the procedure that should be followed to make him to pay the money. So all these are also like a part of management. For all these, you need to have managing skills. Even for example, and if we have a same subject, a theory and lab on the same day, and if the teacher asks you to do write a program on the same day, like in the morning if he teaches some program, and if he asks you to do write the same program in the afternoon lab, then you should need to train on it, right? You need to train on it. You should also manage in certain way. Even by attending the other classes, you need to recall the concepts which has been taught by the teacher. So it is also one small example. And government organizations, non-government agencies, they use managements for example given is like electricity boards, water supply department, all the public sectors. So it is not like it is irrespective, public sectors, private sectors, and service-based organizations, service-based companies. So all uses management skills, all requires management, all requires managing the things. So all wants to manage and to do the things. So scope of the management is applicable to all organizations. So wherever an activity it is getting followed, like it can be of any educational institution, in all the places, the management has a vital role. Yes, management plays a vital role. Then, what is the role of a manager in a management, or what is the role of a manager in a company? So, what is the role of manager in a company? How is going to work? How is going to make the works to be get done from people? Interpersonal roles. Okay, so interpersonal roles, and here Before getting into this interpersonal, let us discuss about one more thing. Like there are two terms. One is intra, one is inter. Okay. If I call like intra competition, if I conduct some competition like intra competition, it mean within the college. Inter competition means within, I mean college with the other college. To be simple, if it is intra communication, where I will be speaking myself, that is intra communication. I will be sharing my ideas and thoughts with me. Just like some cases you will be talking about yourself, right? Some cases you will be talking to you. In some cases, when whatever that you want, like some songs, when you hear some songs, when you are being doing something, sometimes you will be talking with you. That is intra communication, where I will be communicating with myself. That is intra communication. And second one is inter, I mean where I will be communicating with the other one. That is called intercommunication. And now let us talk about this interpersonal roles. So first one, like a figurehead, so which perform the duties of ceremonial nature. Like if you get into any kind of event, you can see one certain people, certain group of people will be there, like welcoming you, right? Certain people will be there welcoming you, and there will be one which will who will be providing you much hospitality. And leader, it is also one important role which even we are talking in all the classes. Like leader, who is the one motivates, who is the one behind all the work, who is one behind the back of the project, who makes the project to be successful. And third, affiliation. Like in this role, and here in this affiliation, what does the manager role is? So if a manager has to communicate or to coordinate something between two companies, okay, so where he will be the one and interacting and assisting between both the parties or assisting between both the companies, that is called liaison. Sometimes manager has to interact with the customer as well as the management, as well as the one who is investing on it. For example, if I take a director, the director has to interact both with the actor as well as the producer. So there he plays a role as liaison. Okay, he plays a role as liaison. He contacts outside the command, it's contacts outside the chain, and also you will be communicating with the organization. For example, I can tell you one more example also. Okay, like if some TCS or some company is conducting a programming event, like coding challenge, some contest, whatever let it be. So you will be having one point of contact in your college where that particular person will be contacting that company, and the same person will also be contacting you, right? So he will be the one who will be communicating, coordinating the two parties, and he will be the one who will be assisting in both the parties, will be assisting in both the party works. That is called liaison. So these are interpersonal roles of a manager. Okay, so figurehead, a leader, liaison. And now informational roles, and these also the roles of manager. Okay, so first it is interpersonal role, in that we are three subheadings, and now it is informational roles. How far the manager can make the information, I mean communication passing medium, to be in an effective manner. First one, like monitor. So first one, it is monitor. So how the activities are being interacted, I mean how the activities are being monitored, how it is being carried out. Are they fitting into the company's policies, or are they get involved whatever the company is being suggested? How far it is done? And and the one who talks about the privileges, right? So if you take a team member, the team member may not be given that much privilege than the managing director or the team manager. So team manager will be given certain privileges when comparing to the other. And third one is a spokesman. And spokesman is just as like a representative. Okay, so spokesman is a person who makes some statements on behalf of a group or individual, who is going to talk on behalf of a group or for an individual, like a class representative. As I said, the class representative will be the one who is going to focus, who is going to represent the entire class, who is going to showcase the entire class in a particular thing. That is information role. You can see some examples like labor unions and financial institutions. In labor unions, you can see some labor leader will be there. So that leader will be the one who will be communicating with the higher authorities, and will be one that he will be the one passing the information to all the employees, right? That is the labor unions. Third, decisional roles. This is most important. As I was telling you, always like the most important thing on management is decision making. So this will be always done by higher authority. So decision making is a key importance of management or principles of management or for a manager. Okay. So entrepreneur. So entrepreneur will be the one if you're planning to start with the new ideas and whatever that new ideas that you come up. So you can find some people investing on your work. So it need not to be like if I have some idea, I don't want to, if I don't have money to invest, I can start my company with someone's investment, right? So where I can get someone to invest for my idea, and where I can do my project and where I can get it. And markets, like in market, you can see all the companies will be providing shares where people can be a shareholders, right? So where people can have a share. So with those investments, the company can run. Similarly, if you have a new idea, you can start your own company with your idea or with your opinion or with your plan. Or it may also be you can propose a plan. You can make someone to invest on it to make your product to be better. Okay, so you can develop a new product or service, or you can find some solutions for the existing old ones. And second, disturbance handler. Okay, so he is someone who helps to come out from any problems if anticipated, and to make sure that there should not be anything like some misunderstanding between the people in a team, and there should not be anything should go wrong between the members in the team. If that is there, then the entire team will get collapse, right? If there is no proper communication, or there is any miscommunication among the employees in a team, then the entire thing will be getting down, right? Then even the company or the project will not be coming out. And resource allocator, this is the most important strategy, right? If I have some work from my side to be done by others, I should identify who will be the best suitable candidate to do this task, right? I can't make same person to do all tasks, right? If I have some kind of project, some coding part, I can make someone who is good at coding. If you want to make some kind of function organizing, I need someone who can communicate and motivate people in a better manner to work coordinatively. That sort of people I should select, right? I should not select or I should not have any people or people who don't have the proper uh, skill in it in doing the things. And that is most important, like dividing and allocating the work, that is more important. So how the work is being divided, how it is being allotted. We can't just blindly go on dividing and allocating the works. And if we have that kind of a blind way of allocating the works or dividing the work among in the team, then you will not even expect at least even 50% outcome of the project or the product, whatever that you are doing in a company. Okay. And fourth, negotiator. Sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times it is always like a negotiations, right? Sometimes you can see salary negotiation, sometimes you can see time, sometimes you can see the product delivery, sometimes you can see even some kind of modules or some kind of work that you want to do, some kind of activity which needs some kind of negotiations. So all these are most important part of decision roles. So to be in one line, the fundamental thing of management is a decision making, and how you are capable to make others to work on behalf of you. I mean, you should make others to work for you. Okay. If you make others to work for you, then you are a good manager, or you have good management skills in you in making the work get done by others. Okay. So these are the three roles, right? So one, we talked about interpersonal roles, second we talked about informational roles, and third we talked about decision roles. So in interpersonal roles, we have three things. One is figurehead, leader, and third one, liaison. And information roles, we have monitor, disseminator, spokesman, and fourth, entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, negotiator. See, among the roles that whatever that we have discussed now, like information role, interpersonal role, and decisional role, and the most important roles are, one is spokesman, like, so he will be the one who will be communicating and coordinating two companies. Okay, so he will be the one connecting two things. And second one will be like disseminator. So disseminator is the one who is responsible to communicate, I mean, to pass on the information to the other one, to pass on the information to get done, to make the work to be get done. So that is the one more important role of this disseminator. So this disseminator and spokesman, and the other one is leadership. So these three are most important, and next to that is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, negotiator. So this is about roles of management. Let us recall the topics that whatever that we have discussed still now. First, we have discussed what is called management, definition of management. So definition of management, what is a management and what is mean by management. Second, activities involved in management. The four activities, that is planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling. It is called POAC: planning, organizing, actuating, controlling, and also staffing, which comes as in organization. And next to that, we are talking about nature of management. So we should know that management is not only for a certain sort of companies, it is applicable for all companies. And characteristics of management. So characteristics of management, the first thing is it is intangible, so which can't be measurable, which can't be seen, and which has no proper size or shape, and which has no certain property. So it is just a skill which you should brought in yourself to make the works done. So that is characteristics of management. It is not measurable, it is not a physical thing, or it does not exist in terms of like a product or a project. So it depends on the way that you handle the things, that is managing, right? So the way that is more important in managing the things. And third is, next one is scope of the management. The management scope is not within the boundary limit of the company. It does not fits even into like within a limit. So this is applicable for all applications. You can healthcare application or intelligent transportation system or attendance monitoring system or ERP system or all kind of applications, whatever that we call educational institutions, financial institutions, all will be the scope of management. It is not limited to. And next to scope of management, we have talked about roles of manager. Whereas we talked about the scope of management, characteristics of management, and next we talked about roles of manager. In roles of manager, we talked about the first one, interpersonal roles. And here you need to note one point, as I said, the difference between intra and inter. In inter, we have seen three things. One is leadership, liaison, and figure it. Okay, so these are the three things in interpersonal roles. And second, informational roles. Informational roles are the one who carries out the information, right? The one who carries out the information, the one who communicates the message, the one who passes the message. That is informational role, right? The first interpersonal role, we are talking about the role of a particular person, and here we're talking about the role in terms of information, in terms of communication. For example, if I take a disseminator, so disseminator will be the one who is responsible to communicate a message, to pass a message in effective manner. And if I take spokesman, he is the one who is going to communicate with the company as well as with the other tie-up company. Even if it is like MOU between two companies, he is the one who will be contacting this as well as between contacting this. He will be the one assisting in all aspects of both the companies. I mean, how far he is going to forward or pass the message from like a source to destination, or from one company to the other company, or from user to the developer. This is how it works. Informational roles, information passing. So information passing system, based on that we call it as informational role. And the third one will be a decisional role. How we take a decision. So decision can be taken by the higher authority people, as I said earlier, and that is the most important thing, decision making. So which can be done by entrepreneur or disturbance handler. I mean, there should not be any wrong misconceptions in the among the team member, or there should not be any miscommunications in the group. And how far it is planned, how they are working, that is most important in this task. And resource allocator, how the work is being divided and allotted, negotiated. Okay, so this is an overview of the topics that whatever that we have covered till now. So management activities, its nature, its scope, roles of manager. Okay, the next topic we shall continue by tomorrow morning. And it is a quick overview summary of the topics that whatever that we have covered till today. Okay, so if you have any queries, we can have a discussion. And for the next topic, I mean for the next topics, let us see it in the next class. Okay, so as of now, I will be sharing you all the presentation slide which is prepared so far, and also along with this, I will be creating Google. I'll be creating a Google Classroom account, so where you all can enroll yourself by create with your Gmail account. It is preferred to go with Acharya email ID. You can access the Google Classroom account with the Acharya email ID. This Google Classroom you should have experience in the last semester also, right? The same one, and whereby you can get all the materials like whatever that we present here, like slides and those lecture videos, all will be available in Google Classroom. You can download it and you can make use of it. And if you have any queries, you're open to discuss. Thank you.